Guys, welcome back to Kumasawa Reviews. What we're taking a look at is Hot Toys, their Thor. This is from his appearance in Infinity War, and I will say off the bat, this thing is cool as all get out. Lots of neat features and stuff like that, decent articulation, a good look. It's just a well put together piece. So this one's just over 12 inches tall. Actually, it's about 12 and a half from what we'll call it 12 and a half. Quick look at the accessories. So of course, comes with a stand, smaller base than some of the ones that I've seen. And accessories wise, of course the Stormbreaker, his arms for when he's not in his battle mode, pair of open hands, even more open hands, and fists that hold things like the Stormbreaker. Now these two pieces right here, we'll take a look at those. They're actually different flexes on the chest, which is a really cool feature. This is the non-caped collar. And these pieces here are the lightning effects. I don't know why I took a pause in saying that. That's kind of weird. Now they're kind of hard to see because my base is black. But he also does come with two different eye patches. So there's a Ragnarok style one as well as Infinity War. The only difference is a couple of shades of gold. So okay, giving you guys a quick roundabout here. The detail is really cool. I'm trying to just make sure, because with the cape I can't see how his feet are planted. And I've seen some pictures where people have custom wired their cape and stuff like that. That's something I'd like to either have customized or learn how to do myself. That'd be really cool. But yeah, just to zoom in, you guys show some details. In both the cloth and plastic. Really good stuff. Before we get started here, Thor in the middle, Iron Man Mark 45, as well as this is Captain America, the concept art version. I got a Steve Rogers head to put on him so it actually matches the concept art. I really like how that looks. Now some people are bugged that Thor isn't visibly taller than Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. like he is in real life. So there are leg extensions that you can buy from places like 16kit.com. There are ways to go around that, but by default, he is the size, 12.5 inches, compared to Mark 45. Even with the unmasked head, well, he's about 12.5 inches too. So same-ish height, he's just over. Then Captain America, he measures, let me do that again actually. He's closer to 12.25. So, I don't know. Looking at the three, same-ish height and stuff like that, I'm not too bugged about it because I know they're toys versus real people. But they're hot toys, they're expensive. People want accuracy, so I get it. It's valid. Alright, so now we can start taking a look at articulation. The head here is on a ball joint, so got some turning and stuff. This neck does not have a lot of movement, like a lot of the hot toys necks do, unfortunately. So he's got some upward, downward, but you can't get that back and forth in the neck itself, unfortunately. This torso doesn't have any articulation at all, just saying that off the bat. It has LED features, which are activated by a switch right in the back here. And you can kind of see it bleed through these pieces if you look closely. But we're going to turn that off so I don't forget, waste the battery. And that's to go with those effects pieces. So, and we're doing kind of a hodgepodge. We're going through the articulation, but we're also going through the gimmicks and things like that. So these pieces, they go in and they kind of indent inside of this torso. So definitely use a spudger so that you don't ruin the plastic and things like that around, because it's not like malleable, but it's still a softer plastic and can indent and scratch and stuff like that. So use a spudger, and there are really fine points where you can see little gaps and stuff like that. So get in and, you know, be careful. I'm actually going to do the change out off camera so that I don't have to reach around and stuff like that, because again, this is an expensive piece, at least expensive for me, and I don't want to ruin it. And on top of being expensive, I really like these things. I'd like to keep them in good condition. So these are the scaled arms. Alright. No bicep swivel, which surprised me. That's about as far as the elbow goes. And then, I don't know if it's the costume or the joint itself, but it gives a little bit of kickback there. Now there is some outward movement. And it looks to be here in the elbow itself, rather than the bicep swivel. Not a lot, but some. Nice click there. Before I forget that. Alright, both ratcheted. Very strong. And these are very traditional. Swivel, and then back and forth. And since we got to go over the articulation on the other arms anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and get it changed out. Zoom out here. There are two pieces that peg in. There we go. That out of the way. Get that pegged in. Pretty easy stuff. And the arms themselves, they're just ball joints. Pop right out. Steel brace. Be careful. Peg that back in. And some force does have to be used. They go in tightly so that they're not just falling off all the time. It's what it is. Alright, so now we have Armless Thor. And I'll actually zoom in while I do this to show you guys, because this was a really cool detail. I didn't really get it until somebody pointed it out. So when he's all armored up, ready to go, he's got the chest that's more puffed out. These pieces come off. And then when he's toned down and regular, these pieces, which are a little bit less long, for me it was one of those things that I didn't really notice, but then once I did, I really appreciated the fine detail to it. It's pretty cool. His chest isn't as pumped up and stuff like that. Popping those back in. Not back in, but popping them in the first place. Boom. Boom. And one thing I wish about Hot Toys in general, the non-Iron Man regular human figures, I just wish their knees were more tight on these bodies. Alright, so I am... Okay, there it is. I was looking for that. So I'm just making sure I'm putting the right arm on the right arm and this and that. So, boom. Push that piece in. Okay. Just gotta get the other gauntlet on. This hand's already attached, so we'll just press that in. Make sure we're pressing that into the right spot, because we definitely don't want to break it, particularly on camera. Press that up. One side's a lot more tight than the other for some reason, but kind of a first world problem. I'd rather have both sides be tight than loose. So there's that. Now taking a look at these arms, No ratchets. Bicep swivel, this is rubber skin. And then ratcheting the elbows. And I will say, there's always worry about creasing if you leave them too long. I accidentally left these in a bent pose after doing the photography overnight. Straighten them out, no creases or anything like that. Really good stuff. And that's about the extent of those arms. Zoom out a bit more. Now there are articulation points in the leg, but because of the pants, there's not a lot of room for them to move. That's about the extent of the outward, forward, backwards, like nothing. Knees, really good. Decent swivel. 1, 2. 1, 2. So decent stuff in the lower legs, but just the upper legs, the swing and whatnot, just not a lot there. And while we're at it, let's take a look at those eye patches too. Raise this up. Alright, let's start with the Ragnarok, more plain eye patch first. Let's get it on, and it just goes on with a magnet. There's that. And I really like his eye patch look, so it's just me. And then, see how it flew out of my hand? Really strong magnets. And then there's that. Now, it's advertised as having a glow effect when you put shine a black light in its face. Alright, and found my light, which was 2 feet away from me, but in a really abnormal spot. But anyway. Checking it out. And to me, it lights up, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this kind of stuff. It'd be cool if it was just, you know, LEDs. I understand not wanting to have a freaking light switch on the back of his head, but I don't look at the back of his head very often. I'd have preferred that versus having to have his whole face purple to get this glow. And a couple of poses to send you guys on your way. Starting off, just a simple walking pose. And one thing I forgot to go over in the articulation section is the fact that the torso can at least swivel. Or maybe I did say it. I forgot. I was too busy looking around for my flashlight. Alright, and there he is, not aiming for the head. I really like this. The stand holds him up extremely well, even though it has a smaller base. It's fantastic. I wish the hips could go up a little bit farther, but for what it is, a little bit of camera tilt, playing with some angles and things like that, it looks good. I like him in this pose. And here it is utilizing those LEDs, as well as the effects on the wrist. Definitely good stuff. Really bright too, so let's take a look. Alright, so there it is without lights. Let's go ahead and try black light, see if we can get any effect. Oh wow. I'm actually going to zoom in because that was really cool. I actually got the eyes to do the glow effect that's advertised a bit. There we go. And again, sure focus. See how that looks with the actual lights on, a little bit of tint to it. Just a flashlight I'm using. I dig it. Alright, and closing it out, here he is dual wielding the axe. Again, this has been Hot Toys Thor, his Infinity War appearance. Honestly, I love this piece to death. I really like the, scaling on the arms, the detail of the face, just all of it. The accessories are awesome. There's just not a lot bad about this piece, although there are some things that people have, valid nitpicks or complaints about. So like the lack of posability or articulation in the torso because of these lights and things like that. The size of the Stormbreaker, valid stuff. But at the same time, the size of the Stormbreaker, that the blade could have stood to have been bigger. I don't know why they chose that size, but it is what it is. The torso, though, with the LEDs and stuff like that, I'm no engineer. I don't really know how that would have been pulled off, but it would have been nice to have, some ab crunch and whatnot in there, but at least it does have the waist swivel, I'm more concerned with the lack of articulation in the legs because of the pants than the torso, personally, but it's what it is. Overall, awesome piece. Glad to have it. And man, if I had to rate it, just score off the top of my head, it'd be somewhere between an 8 and 10 out of 10. It's a very, very well done piece. So anyway, this has been another Kumastyle review. I want to know what you guys think of this one in the comments. Let me know, please. And check out the full breakdown article and gallery on kumastyle.com. Thank you guys. See you next time.